Thank you abundantly. Thank you for joining me today. It's been too long, you guys. I miss you. Thank you for spending this time with me, your precious time, and watching for today's uncut video where we are going to be picking the winner of the magical session with Amanda and just catching up a little bit. So I made a couple notes today. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for those of you who sent me minerals, and for anyone out there who has ever sent me a donation or a gift from my Amazon list. These things mean the world to me, just to receive your gifts and receive your love. There's been a couple times where I've gotten donations of like $1 and $2, and it's funny because it's just $1 or $2, but it just shows me like that you're real, you know what I mean? And that you guys really exist because sometimes I'm just here and like I'm just talking to the camera and I really feel your love, and like it's just been the most wild and crazy thing getting to receive your gifts. So I just want to say thank you. Having your presence here on the channel is gift enough, but thank you. And for some reason Amazon updated their app or something where when you scan the QR code it no longer allows you to send a thank you note, which was one of the greatest features before. So I couldn't like actually send the thank yous to those of you who sent me gifts, but I just want you to know that I appreciate you so much, and because of you out there watching, I'm able to live my purpose and share, and it means so much to me to be a part of your lives. And I'm a believer in parasocial relationships. I know some people are critical of them, but I believe they can enrich our lives, and I'm just so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. So that was my first note. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you for the minerals, the gifts, the donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I'm sorry for all of my recent videos. I have been working harder on videos and on business than maybe ever before. Definitely than I have for a really, really long time. And so I've actually been consistently working on projects, but they're not the type of projects that I think interest you. But I've been putting my heart and soul into doing these, you know, business related projects, like my video menus for my holiday readings and my normal readings and video newsletters and all these kinds of things. And it's been taking a lot of my creative energy, but that's necessary because that's for my livelihood and just getting organized and structuring things as part of this Saturn conjunct the moon transit that I'm having right now. But I feel bad because when I'm pouring myself into those projects, I'm not able to do as much teaching and sharing with all of you. So I'm just trying to keep everything in balance, but I want you to know I haven't forgotten you. And I've been reviewing your comments, and a couple of you asked for long form videos. Now, I am not able to, as some of you will remember from this summer, like I'm not actually able to record long content on this camera. It tends to overheat and it shuts itself off. And it's really best for videos of about 20 minutes or less. However, I experimented in my last couple of videos with doing long form audio content, more like podcast style. And so I did one with Amanda, and that's what we'll be picking the winner for here in a minute. But I also did one on coping with difficult astrological transits. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like that kind of content? I did put out a poll maybe a year ago, and in that poll, you all said you wanted to see me. And so ever since then, I've been putting myself on camera like a lot more and filming a lot more. But actually the audio content was really core to me and comes really, really natural, and it's much easier. Like I could put out long form audio content several times a week, maybe even every day, a lot of the time, but it's a little bit more of a barrier with the video content. So I'm guessing what you truly want is both. I want you to know I haven't forgotten about you, and I'm not trying to like push business related content onto you. I actually like use that content in my business email and things like that, and I use it in other contexts, but hosting it on YouTube is helpful. However, if you guys like watching it, that's great too. Now, I must inform you that we are on the precipice of Mercury Retrograde, which is also part of why I've been really busy and haven't filmed a sit-down video in a long time, because I personally do not make purchases or travel or do paperwork or important meetings or things like that during Mercury retrograde periods. And I just find that things take a lot longer during Mercury retrograde periods. So we're starting a Mercury retrograde on November 25th, and it will last until December 15th. And so basically I've been trying to get as much of my holiday readings scheduled prior to the retrograde as possible. I still have some spaces for delivery on New Year's Eve for year ahead forecast readings, or New Year's Day, and a couple Christmas Eve and Christmas Day slots as well, if anyone wants one. This year I created a reduced rate year ahead forecast reading for people that are on a budget. So I have like a highlights one, and then I have an extended one. So I've been working on booking those, but I've also like been coordinating all of my holiday travel, and I did almost all. I'm looking for like 2 little things that I'm hoping to catch on sales like later this week, but otherwise I finished all my Christmas shopping, Christmas cards, holiday cards, like all of that kind of stuff already prior to the retrograde. By the time the retrograde is over, some people may wish to wait until then, because that still gives you 10 days to get shopping done and things like that while Mercury's direct, like December 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, so on and so forth. But for me, I'm already going to be traveling and be with family at that time. So anyway, I've been trying to get all of my holiday stuff sorted prior to the retrograde. Let's pull a winner. So some of you are probably like, what are you talking about? What do you win? So really, it's the most loyal of you that, well, it's only the most loyal of you that'll be this far into the video anyway. My friend Amanda and I, we filmed 2 sort of podcast episodes now. So we did one on faith and the Pisces moon, and then we did one on tools that help us connect spiritually. And Amanda is an amazing coach, and she helps people that are going through life transitions, like whether those transitions are caused by like spiritually transformative experiences, or maybe a person's becoming a parent for a first time, or they recently had a major change to an interpersonal relationship, like the gain or loss of a relationship, or a medical diagnosis, or they had an ayahuasca experience and they're like completely changed and trying to integrate the changes into their life. So she kind of specializes in things like that. So we had a talk together. I asked people to post if they wanted to be entered to win a session with her, which she was so generous to donate, to post an orange heart and their name, and several of you did. So we're gonna find out now who the winner is, and then I'm gonna put Amanda's email address there for you so you can get in touch. Okay, asking the angels and the spirit world to bring forth the name of the person who can most benefit for the greatest good. Greatest good. Oh my gosh. Okay, the winner is Marielle. And I say oh my gosh because she's the one who entered the most recently. So yeah, like she just entered like right before I started to film today. To everyone else who entered, perhaps I'll enter your name into the next drawing. So I hope to give away some type of session myself. I just haven't decided what I'll be giving away, but sometime during the holidays, I will decide. Maybe it'll be a call, maybe it'll be a year ahead forecast reading, maybe it'll be something that doesn't even exist yet that I invent, but I would like to give away something too. You guys mean a lot to me. So I would like to give away something. By the way, I mentioned like a while ago that I wanted to showcase and describe how my gifts and abilities work by giving messages to you all based on photos, because I was like pulling tarot cards for you, and that's like okay, but that isn't the way that I connect. So the way that I connect psychically is specifically by accessing the guides through the portal of the soul of the individual, which I access through seeing clear images of their eyes. So anyway, I was like, send me your picture if you'd like to be included in that video. And I actually didn't get enough. Like I got a couple, but I did not get enough for a full video. I need at least one more. So if someone is out there and they're willing to have their first name in the video and a picture so I can demonstrate how I see psychic energy, please send your picture to me. And my details are always in the description box below. You kind of have to push the down arrow, but my email's there, my reading types are always there, all my links to Amazon, all that stuff is always there. But yeah, you might be wondering like why I haven't made that video, and it's because I didn't get enough submissions. So I guess I can understand like that people might not want to be submitted to that because maybe they don't want their psychic message to be for the public. But like I wouldn't share anything negative or disturbing or anything like that. Yeah, I wanted to share with you guys like a little bit about what I've been learning and what I've been focusing on. So this summer I did a video and I talked about like Eckhart Tolle and the power of now. And that's an old book anymore, but it's a classic. And yeah, like I've been really focused on the now moment and the quality of information that I take in and how it influences my now moment. And not letting my mind like get carried away with future fears or like worries of the past, but like a just today sort of approach. And that's coalesced like really beautifully with my human design and practicing like my sacral response as a generator and emotional authority, and tuning in and responding to energies like of the day as they flow. And that's been a super, super good experiment. And I've just been practicing and refining that. Some of you posted comments concerned about the election results, and I will tell you, I've thought a lot of times about doing videos on popular topics and like psychic perspectives, also doing like commentary videos where I psychically provide insight on like characters from TV shows. Like I don't really watch TV, but like a couple Netflix things I'll watch, like Married at First Sight or Love is Blind, like where I get like a clear sense of the people's real thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. So sometimes I thought of doing content like that, but I don't know like if it interests you. But for the election here in the States, I just remind people we have not yet had a change of administration. And I remind people, go out there in the world, talk to your neighbors, look at the sunshine. Like, reality has not fundamentally changed. There's a lot of strange information out there that is very like doomsday or is predicting negative things. But if you just go out in the world and you live and like you touch the earth and you talk to people, there's good people everywhere. We're all so much more the same than we are different. People are ready to help. There's a ton of beauty. So I think a lot of it is fear and a lot of it is imagination. And I think information that is negative is sort of addictive. It creates a cascade of like adrenaline and hormones, and it can be difficult to stop looking at it. Once we start looking at it, kind of like trauma bonding in relationships, like it creates a cascade of hormones that we get on a loop with and things like that. So it can sometimes take discipline to break the cycle. But I've been kind of following a little bit this motivational speaker, and his name is Chris Helder. And I don't know what book I was reading. I think it was The Positive Shift or something this summer. And his name was mentioned in there, and I listened to like one of his TED Talks or short talks. Anyway, he talks about the idea of useful beliefs. And it's kind of like an antidote to positive thinking. Now, I actually have found value in positive thinking, but for those who are a little bit more like cynical, maybe positive thinking, it definitely doesn't work always. Like positive thinking, like it won't magically solve your problems all the time. Sometimes it does though. But anyway, Chris talks about useful belief. And I encourage people to use that principle. Like when a belief is being put out there, because basically these negative predictions about the future are just beliefs. Like they don't actually exist yet. Like these things are for the most part not happening. So it's something you choose to believe. Like you choose to believe, okay, the world is currently as good as it ever has been, and it's getting better and better every day, and we live in the best times to be alive. Or you can choose to believe the world is regressing and we're headed into a catastrophe. And that's a choice, like what you choose to believe. But the choice that you make will influence your experience of reality like a great deal. So I think just pausing when we're exposed to a belief or a teaching, no matter who it comes from, and just asking like, is this a useful belief? And useful in the sense like, is it contributing to my life? Is it nutritive? Is it moving me forward? Is it contributing to my well-being? Is it helpful? Does it make me feel productive? Am I getting more done as a result of this belief? Am I a better person as a result of this belief? So yeah, I think the concept of useful belief is something that I've been reflecting on a lot. My general prayer every day for weeks now has been to do the greatest good that I possibly can with the time and energy available that day while doing the least amount of harm. And I think that part is key, because sometimes we can do a lot of good, but there's also unintended consequences. So the greatest amount of good with the least amount of harm every day. And yeah, during the Saturn transit, I've been working hard. In business, but also in my personal life, health stuff, all kinds of stuff. I guess like I should be glad that I'm able to put out anything here on YouTube, or I have put out some things, but I want to put out more. And I love creating during the holidays. Every year after the holidays, I make notes about what went well, what I want to do again the next year, and like what I would change based on what I learned. And I made detailed notes last year, and I've implemented everything I can so far. But one of the notes that I really made that I haven't done yet is go out and film B-roll and produce YouTube content. So I think I did that one time. No, I think I did it twice last year. Like I went to a huge mall and I filmed B-roll, and then I went to like this big lights display, and those were some of my favorite memories. So it's just November now, but I'm planning to like specifically go on some outings to film B-roll for you guys and produce some kinds of holiday content. I want to be someone who is offering content that can be an alternative to content that might be spreading fear and insecurities. And just, yeah, I want to contribute to your lives as much as I can with the greatest amount of good that I can and the least amount of harm. And thank you to everyone who is here and spends this time with me. And if you're interested in a 2025 year ahead forecast reading, the highlights version, which is probably a lot of information for most people, or the extended version, which is a ton of information about the year ahead, and you'd like nice smooth booking, please email me over the weekend for that, as Mercury Retrograde will be settling in by Monday evening. Now, of course, I'm still taking bookings during the Mercury Retrograde period, but they can just be it can be a little bit more confusing at that point to decide. Anyway, I just thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have the best day. And congratulations to Marielle for winning the session with Amanda. I hope you two have the best talk, and that a great deal of good comes from all of it. And thank you to everyone else who entered too. So, many blessings to you, many blessings, and namaste.